Like Wilson? Wilson? Tim the tool man.
All right, folks, are we?
Hello.
Hi.
Well, hi there. Alan.
Are we close? I'm going to call the
I was going to let you sit by me, but okay.
October 8th, 2018 Board of Zoning Appeals meeting to order. A couple of announcements that we need to make. The Board of Zoning Appeals is a quasi-judicial body, and as such, the latitude for acting on applications is somewhat limited by state statute and city ordinance. This meeting is being recorded. Therefore, anyone who speaks before the body tonight, including staff, will need to be sworn in. At this time, I will swear in the staff. Raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All of our motions are made in the affirmative, and as a result of that, it does not necessarily mean that the person making the motion or seconding the motion will actually vote for the motion when the roll is called. Anyone wishing to speak to us tonight, when you come to the podium, you'll need to be sworn in. We ask that you please state your name and address loudly so it can be entered into the record. Ms. Gibson, will you call the roll?
Mr. Yulhorn?
Here.
Ms. Bowden?
Here.
Ms. Cliff?
Here.
Alderman Gibson?
Here. So the first order of business, we will need to elect a vice chairman. And I will entertain a nomination for vice chair.
Move to nominate Ms. Ray.
Ray Clift. Do I have do I have a second?
Ray Cliff.
Ms. Bowden seconds. Ms. Gibson, please call the roll.
Okay. Ms. Bowden?
Here? Yes.
Yes. Mr. Yulhorn?
Yes.
Alderman Gibson?
Yes. We have a new vice chair, and so in Chairman Sisson's absence, I will turn over the rest of our meeting to Ms. Ray Clift. We are in capable hands and happy to have you in this new role.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda is to approve the minutes from our August 14th, 2018 meeting. Do I have a motion?
I motion to accept.
Second.
You call the roll?
Sure. Mr. Yulhorn?
Well, I've got a question. Normally I abstain because I missed the meeting, but how does this work, Alan? Do I have to vote yes for it to? Minutes would be approved by the majority. Okay. So I abstain.
Okay. Ms. Bowden?
Yes.
Alderman Gibson?
Yes.
Chairman Cliff?
Yes. The next item on our agenda is case number 18-837. May we have staff comment?
The item before you is a request for a variance at 9224 Forest Downs Road. As you can see here, this is the subject property. It is located in the RE1 residential zoning district. This here is Forest Hill Irene Road. This is the new Forest Hill Elementary School site. The request is for a variance for, a fence in the front yard setback. This is the front property line here. The first 15 feet of the property are a drainage easement. Per the zoning ordinance for the RE1 zoning district, the front setback is 60 feet. And per the recorded plat for this particular subdivision, they have a building line of 75 feet. So the city's ordinance would require 60 feet, and this neighborhood covenants would require that a fence over 30 inches be placed behind the 75-foot building line. The applicant is requesting to have a fence that is 4 feet tall along here, the 15 feet from the property line, It would also have columns that are 5 feet high and a entrance feature, as you see here, on both sections of the driveway, that would range between 4 3/4 feet to 6 feet high, with brick columns that are 6 3/4 feet high, and then gates that are up to 6 feet high. So here's what the wrought iron fence would look like, as mentioned, up to 4 feet. And this is what the entrance feature would look like with the gates. Here are examples of similar gates, entrance feature, and brick columns in the surrounding neighborhood. The entrance feature would be the entrance feature would be located starting at 15 feet from the property line, going back to 25 feet. So the gates here would be 25 feet from the property line. The applicant is requesting the variance under the justification of other extraordinary and exceptional situation or condition on this piece of property. This road, Forest Downs Road, is more of a rural cross-section. There's no right-of-way designed for pedestrians, no safety signs on Forest Downs, and there are no posted speed limit signs. The applicant in his application did provide examples of similar fences in the neighborhood. This one is at 9125 Forest Downs Road, also a 4-foot-high fence located 15 feet from the property line at that, right behind that drainage easement. This was approved prior to the city annexing this part of the city in 2000. This example at 9315 Forest Downs, on the corner of Forest Downs and Hollow Creek Road, again set back 15 feet from the road where that drainage easement is. This one received a variance in 2005. It was replacing a fence in this exact location that was wood, and the applicant then requested that the fence be up to 4 feet and be wrought iron, and the BZA did grant that because of the pre-existing fence that had been there prior to annexation. And then there is another example on 3424 Hollow Creek Road around the corner. This also was installed, the original fence was installed prior to annexation in 2000. And when the BZA looks to grant a variance such as this for a fence over 30 inches in the front yard setback, we refer them back to section 23-49A4, where they may consider a variance, granting a variance by reason of exceptional narrowness or shallowness or other unique circumstances on the property. If the variance is granted, the applicant would apply for a fence and gate permit through the Neighborhood Services Division within the next 30 days. That concludes staff's presentation, and the applicant is here for any questions you may have.
Does any board member have questions, staff?
A question of
Yes.
our attorney. As far as the plat restriction, Alan, if you could speak to that.
Gotta turn it on.
Plat restrictions involve the property owner, the developer, and the neighbors that make up that development. The restrictions are noted on the plat filed with the registrar's office. That matter would be between the property owner and their neighbors, the developer, if the developer were still part owner or active within that matter. So it would be a second issue, not involving the city of Germantown. The city of Germantown's ordinances are the ones that the board looks to enforce. Plat restrictions between homeowners are those that they enforce among themselves.
Thank you, and that was some discussion that we had during the executive session. Wanted to make certain that the homeowners were aware of that. Ms. Gorleski, as far as the safety issues that the applicant addressed in the application, would those really fall under the peculiar or exceptional practical difficulties of, if you were to categorize as far as where to put that?
So in order to grant a variance, as I mentioned from a section of our ordinance, the property has to have an exceptional situation, narrowness, et cetera. Personal situation or financial hardship are not usually reasons to grant a variance per our section of the code.
Then can you define what exceptional practical difficulty would be? A safety issue, would that be considered an exceptional?
We have had some instances where we have looked at variances with safety issues. I can think of one recently where we had a lot that was on the corner of Kimbrough and Pine Valley, and the gentleman had a driveway off of Kimbrough, and he requested to have a second driveway on his property coming off of Pine Valley due to a safety concern backing out onto Kimbrough. We also had another driveway variance that was granted in the past year on the corner of Howard and Stout Road. Similar situation, the gentleman had an existing driveway on Howard. However, pardon? On Stout, sorry, I had it on Stout. Oh, you're right. Thank you, Mr. Yulhorn. We had a third one on Neshoba as well that that the board granted a variance for that as well, and those were all due to safety or the speed of those streets. So Neshoba, Kimbrough, and Stout Road.
Got it. And so I think with a safety situation, we've got some latitude with that as far as what our perspective or perception of safety would be, especially with a street that doesn't have sidewalks and such, with this being that rural area. No more questions for me.
Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor of the variance? Please come forward and identify yourself. Be sworn in.
So I'm Brandon Toney, 9224 Forest Downs Road.
Okay, will you please raise your right hand?
Sure.
Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay.
So, you know, the whole reason that we're doing this fence is because we have children. I grew up in Germantown. I've lived here for 30 years. I'm very familiar with the restrictions and keeping Germantown, you know, regulated in a smart way. I grew up just down the street from here. But when we moved into Forest Downs Road, we moved to such a big lot. And it's spread over 2 acres, and on that particular road we've talked about already, there is no sidewalk, there's no right-of-way for pedestrians, and it's really dangerous. Actually, we need to get some sort of speed limit or some sort of something on that road to slow cars down, because they just fly up and down the road, construction, big trucks and things like that. So, you know, we've got a small child, we've got another one coming, and probably another one in the future. Most of our acreage is in the front. It's very difficult for us to play outside without them running to the street. Lots of teenagers, like I said, speeding up and down the road. So we appreciate you guys looking over this case and everything for us. I think it would really help us to ensure their safety and make sure nothing preventable happens in the future. It'd be very unfortunate to lose one of our children to a car accident. So.
Does any member of the board have any questions?
Just a comment, Mr. Toney. I've done this for several years now. This is a very complete application. It's very much appreciated. And as a mom, the picture of, I'm thinking that's maybe your son.
It was, and I wasn't chasing him either. He was just doing that.
I
believe it would look like I was. It would look like I was chasing him. I was not chasing him. He was doing that on his own. So,
well played. That's all I'll say. No, very, very complete as far as it gave us an idea even before we went and did a site drive-by look of what we were having to make a decision on. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Is there anyone else who would like to speak in favor? Is there anybody who would like to speak against this variance? No. I'm ready to entertain a motion.
Move to approve. For safety reasons.
Is there a second?
I second.
Will you call the roll, please?
Sure. Mr. Yulhorn.
Yes.
Ms. Bowden.
Yes.
Alderman Gibson.
I vote yes due to the exceptional nature of the safety concerns.
Chairman Cliff.
I vote yes because I too am concerned about the safety. Since there are no sidewalks, there's going to be a school right around the corner from you. I think this is an exceptional circumstance, and there's no opposition. Any new business?
Any business?
There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Okay.